For all the dog trainers out there that really believe that B.F. Skinner created the Quadrants of dog training, and I know there's a lot of you out there, you need to stop doing this and you need to sit down and read a book. B.F. Skinner had nothing to do with the Quadrants of dog training. Konrad Most. Who is Konrad Most? The father of Schutzen, which has now become IGP dog training. The book Training Dogs from Konrad Most is the very Bible for IGP dog training, but they don't want you to know his name. They are lying to you, and they know they're lying to you. And the damage caused as a result of all these lies is incredible and irreparable. Okay? Millions of dogs over the last 20 years have been killed behaviorally because of this nonsense. Millions of dog owners' lives have been destroyed because of this nonsense. And let's get a show of hands. How many people right now have killed a dog over the last 20 years? And how many dog owners right now are living as a hostage in their own bloody home? Millions of dogs right now are badly behaved because of this garbage. This needs to stop. Dog trainers are blaming B.F. Skinner for all of this quadrant nonsense, and they've managed to redefine everything. They've managed to redefine operant conditioning. They managed to redefine positive reinforcement, negative reinforcement, and they got you to believe that Skinner was all about positive and negative punishment. Okay? What you know as positive reinforcement is in fact a primary inducement under Konrad Most. Negative reinforcement under Skinner is known as a secondary inducement under Konrad Most. Positive punishment under Skinner, it doesn't exist. It's in fact primary compulsive inducements. Negative punishment under Skinner doesn't exist. It's secondary compulsive inducements. There's a reason why balanced dog training is also known as compulsion-based dog training. I'm going to attach a video here of AI actually reading the certain few chapters of the book explaining the quadrants of dog training. When the book mentions the flick of the switch, they're hitting the dog with a scooting stick. That's the reality. Have a listen.
Chapter 2. The Use of Compulsion and Inducements. The contrasted feelings of what is pleasant or unpleasant are, of course, as definite and directive of canine behavior as are the rewards and punishments obtained as a result of human conduct. Cakes and the stick, enticement and menace are expedients used in both cases to induce the desired attitude. In the matter of compulsion, too, primary and secondary inducements are to be distinguished. With primary compulsive inducements, the intermediary is the sense of touch. We are here concerned, in the first place, with mechanical operations, graded from weak to strong, in the form of pulls, pressure, jerks, thrusts and heaves, and in the second place with the infliction of pain, from slight to intense. Secondary inducements for effect at a distance are in the first place accents, ranging from gently admonitory to loudly menacing words of command, including an intimidating sound such as bah. And in the second place are bodily attitudes and movements, graded from a threat to an actual attack upon the dog. These means of compulsion may be used in combination or singly according to circumstances. Implements to be used in the case of primary compulsive inducements are the collar, the choke collar, and the spiked collar in combination with the lead. There is also the switch, which can and should be used with a lightning flick of the wrist. Finally, there are the operations at a distance. The difference between the use of the collar and the switch consists in the fact that their mechanical processes are distinct. In conjunction with the lead, the collar not only serves to cause discomfort, but simultaneously to draw the dog to the trainer's left side. In the down exercises, a flick with the switch inflicts discomfort and simultaneously causes the dog to drop down in an instant. Secondary compulsive inducements influence the dog from its youth onward, because, as a rule, menacing sounds and movements are immediately followed, or even simultaneously accompanied, by unpleasant consequences. Whether, and if so to what extent, menacing sounds and movements may be regarded as primary inducements must remain an open question. The next step is a methodical consolidation of the associations formed. It is evident that compulsion may be employed in very different degrees of intensity. The lifting of the paw of a lapdog as a primary inducement to inculcate the giving of the paw is of a compulsive character. So is the gently admonitory sound, which serves, for example, to call the dog into the room to feed, while an instance of harsher compulsion is a tug at the collar or a flick with the switch. Even the most soft-hearted dog owner cannot get on terms with his idolized favorite without some form of compulsion. In the absence of compulsion, neither human education nor canine training is feasible. We now have to decide when to employ minor or major compulsion and the way in which it should be employed. We may first consider the pleasure we may give a dog. It is very easy to satisfy him. As a primary inducement, we may make use of fondling, which means stroking and patting the dog, and occasionally offering him titbits. For work at a distance, we introduce secondary inducements, making use, in the course of the fondling, of the encouraging expression, "There's a good boy," and, when necessary, talking to the animal in caressing tones. Even from puppyhood he recognizes such accents as standing in a time relationship to corresponding human action. Systematic use may also be made of primary inducements in the form of movements, accompanied by caresses or caressing sounds. These movements include the reduction of the visible area of the body, for example, bending down as well as walking or running backwards away from the dog, as in teaching heel work. For further details, see the section on the recall. We must now consider the application of comfort and discomfort. In the case of human beings who are able to speak, we can make them understand why they are punished and rewarded. This cannot be done in the case of the dog. Here we are restricted to the use of external inducements, the reasons for which remain unknown to the animal. It is only through experience of our inducements that the dog can discover where its own advantage or disadvantage lies. We are here concerned with a lesson that, as we shall see, only achieves the object of the training, when the experiences under consideration occur simultaneously. The first distinction to be made in the application of compulsion is that between abstention and action, whichever is aimed at. If the former is involved, any natural behavior on the part of the dog, which we may regard as undesirable, is suppressed. It is not correct to call this prohibitive training, since the dog neither understands what a prohibition is, nor that anything is being prohibited. The same situation obtains here as in the case of a child, not yet able to speak, which has burnt itself. The child can only learn by experience that fire close at hand is painful. When we are suppressing typical canine conduct, therefore, we should speak of training in abstention.